And finally, at number 1, I have Australis by Leo Colovini and Alessandro Zucchini. Now, these are two designers who tend to work for me, and I've enjoyed a lot of their previous designs. And this is certainly a gateway level game. And I don't normally buy big box games when they are as light as this one, but this one really appealed to me. And I'm obviously very glad that I did choose to pick this one up and play it, because I've enjoyed this one thoroughly. And it is pretty much a kitchen sink of introductory gateway style board game mechanisms. But the overall package and how all these moving parts are kind of harmonized is super impressive to me, and the overall feel of the game is just lovely. So this one, you are drafting dice in turn. Each round you're going to be drafting 4 dice, and all these dice will come with a specific action, but at different strengths depending on how quickly you want to draft these dice and what was rolled. So you've got the kind of the turtle track, where when you take the turtle die, you'll go as far as you can down on this track depending on the value that you've drafted, which will simply be passive points at the end of the round, as well as a tiebreaker that can be very important. You've got the coral pieces, which means you can deploy coral in these different bays. And if you've got the majority in each of these zones at the end of the round, then you'll score more points. You've got these fish schools, where you take these fish from the supply. The more fish, the merrier, but you need to collect these food cubes in order to score the maximum from them. So it's kind of this little balancing thing you need to do, like not only having loads of fish, but having the food to feed the fish. And you've got card drafting as well, where you are building up this engine of cards by tucking them onto your player board. And when you take certain actions of those colours, then you'll get a little boon as well by getting passive victory points, or passive fish, or being able to deploy more coral onto the board, and so on. So those are the core moving parts of the game. Again, track climbing, area control, card drafting, and engine building. And that's pretty much what the game entails. But the thing about this game that really does elevate the fun factor is this dice drafting mechanism, where at the end of each round, players will have this roll off, and basically you'll roll all the dice with numbers that you've collected in that round, and each roll, the lowest values will be taken out of the mix. And whoever is the last man standing will get access to these really high scoring turtle tiles that will be saved for the end game, or you can even get food cubes, which can of course complement your fishing ability. Yes, it's pretty much purely random. I mean, there are some very loose mitigation tools by collecting these little engine building cards. But again, it really does help the game rather than hinder it. And I might be in a smaller school of people, or class of people, who would say that. I think a lot of people would be put off by the random nature of those dice rolls. But the game is so light and so quick that it's just like an engaging mechanism, and it's just pure visceral dice rolling, and it just seems to complement the rest of the game really well, even though it can be the difference maker in who wins the game or not. But again, it does come down to what dice you've drafted, because the different colours of dice will come in different numerical values, meaning if you take the higher valued dice, depending on the colour, then you've got better odds of winning the roll-off. So you can factor that into your strategy. So you are going in with a bit of information on who's likely to win the roll-off. I would recommend this game to anybody dipping their toe into the hobby. I'd recommend this to more experienced gamers to use as not a lure, but a gateway tool to teach to younger children or first-time gamers. It is just a wonderful blending of these mechanisms. I think it's a great use of that turtle track when it comes to breaking ties for other things, kind of really upping the importance of it. The engine building is satisfying, as you can just take actions, get tons of little benefits on the back of that. And yeah, all in all, it is just a lovely gateway game that I'd recommend people have it in their collection to use in the right occasion. And I can see this one being a slow burner. I think it's going to be widely enjoyed, and I think it has all the hallmarks to be kind of a mega hit, really. And I think if this is not a mega hit, that would be a crying shame, because I think this is probably one of the best lighter games that I've played in some years. I was really impressed, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect, if it was going to be a little bit too light for me, and maybe a little bit too boring and predictable. I don't feel that way at all. I think it is a really good, well-designed, clean example of a well-executed intro level game that's still even satisfying to saltier gamers. You know, I played this game the other day with myself and 2 other gamers who we played extremely heavy Euros, and we all came out of this game thinking it was brilliant. So that is Australis at number 1.